What is up, Pokemon Go family? It is your boy, the Ghoul Guy, back at you guys yet again with another video, and today we're going to be looking at another team for the Great League centered around Shadow Annihilape. I have finally built a Shadow Annihilape. It is a rank 59 Shadow Annihilape. Super excited to use this Pokemon. I've heard so many great stories about using Shadow Annihilape in this meta, and as well just in the Great League in general. It's just a monster. Of course, but using Rage Fist, of course, to buff it up as well. Yeah, I mean, it's what can I say? It's just an amazing Pokemon to use. But anyway, we have Pokemon centered around Annihilape with the Talonflame and as well as the Credilli. Credilli has been basically one of my favorite Pokemon to use in the Great League so far, just because of the fact is it has the Rock Tomb coverage, which is just amazing. So pretty much any fire type I pretty much have coverage for as a grass type, which is insane. So we have it as a switch, and then we have the Talonflame in the front to take care of any fairy types I've come across, because of course fairies are... Annihilape is not a fan of the fairies, so essentially that is why we have Talonflame in the front there, and as well as just super versatile, and it's able to essentially get to his charge moves really well. The Incinerate damage does phenomenal in terms of damage, and as well, you know, flying moves, essentially, you know, it's Talonflame, right? Talonflame is amazing, and of course, since it is flying, ground type moves are non-effective against Talonflame, so that is another reason why I'm using Talonflame as well. But anyway, I put it in PV Poke. It looked like it did phenomenal, and we ran a but yeah, we put it in PV Poke. But anyway, we put it in PV Poke. It looked like, we put it in PV Poke. It looks like it does phenomenal. I ran literally a set today, and it did phenomenal. Okay, so anyways, without further ado, let's get into the stats of everything. Let's go. Starting it off here, let's go into Talonflame. Now, the Talonflame is not good IVs whatsoever. Okay, I'm gonna let you know right now, it is not good IVs. For some reason, I have no signal. No clue why. But anyway, yeah, the Talonflame. Talonflame definitely does not have good IVs whatsoever, because it is a 96%, but it's using Incinerate, Fly, and as well as Flame Charge with the Talonflame. And then as well, we also have our Credilli. Going into our Credilli, our Great League Credilli here, we got Bullet Seed, Rock Tomb, and as well as Grass Knot. These are the IVs for the Credilli. Not too bad on the Credilli, which is awesome. And then last but not least, we have our rank 59 Annihilape here. Boom! Those are the IVs for the Annihilape, which is awesome. Glad I actually was able to find a decent IV for the Annihilape there, with Counter, Rage Fist, and as well as Ice Punch. Ice Punch for the flying coverage, of course, or any grass types I come across, or even any dragons. Essentially, Annihilape has the coverage for it. If not, Rage Fist is very neutral against most things except for obviously normal types, and that's where the counter comes into play. But anyway, that is the team. That is what we got. Now let us get into the now let us get into the battles. Let's go. Not really surprised that this team actually worked out phenomenally. Annihilape has always been just a top competitor in this game, as well as Talonflame. Credilli is just the new one here. But anyway, Talonflame versus the superior, of course, dominant match there. They end up switching into the Mandibuzz, and this is where Credilli freaking shines, okay? Regardless of this being a flying Pokemon, Credilli just does not care, okay? Essentially, we were waiting on the Aerial Ace. Unfortunately, they use Dark Pulse, which is fine, actually. Still doesn't do that much damage to Credilli. Credilli is just such a tanky, bulky Pokemon, which is awesome. We are going to be able to get to the Rock Tomb. Look how much damage that Rock Tomb is doing to the freaking Mandibuzz, and it is debuffed, which is awesome. I love to have a move that debuffs you and as well does so much freaking damage. It's insane. I love it so much. But anyway, Dark Pulse coming through again, doing even less damage. We're gonna go for another debuff Rock Tomb, which should, I believe, maybe KO this Mandibuzz. Let's see. No, it does not. Unfortunately, does not end up KOing the Mandibuzz. So they are going to be able to get to another charge move. Now, Does this charge move KO? That is the question. It is double debuffed. Dark Pulse coming through. Look at that. Not even taking us out, which is insane. We are going to be able to get to another Rock Tomb, basically end up KOing the Mandibuzz. If they end up wanting to get KO'd, let's see, they end up using their shield. So they do not want this Mandibuzz to go down, and they do want to at least gain switch. So basically, we're just going to counter back with our own shield and farm down the rest of the way of this Mandibuzz. They're going to bring back in the Superior, and you already know what it is. We're just going to wait for the switch clock, of course, so just in case we can switch out to our Annihilape, just in case, you know, if we need to anyway. We switch back into our Talonflame, and then they bring in the Quagsire. Basically with the Quagsire, of course, we should be able to tank the Aqua Tail or the Mud Bomb. I just say Mud Bomb, Aqua Tail. There it is, the Aqua Tail coming through. That is fine with me. We're gonna get to the Rage Fist here. Of course, I could probably use Ice Punch too, but I want to just basically, if they end up using a shield, at least with the Rage Fist, yeah, I can just basically counter the rest of the way down. But looks like they do not do that, which is fine with me. We're just going to use our last shield here. That's fine, because the Talonflame against the Superior, I mean, what is the Superior going to do anyway? So yeah, we end up farming the rest of the way down, and we're almost to the Ice Punch. Essentially, once this Ice Punch connects, it's essentially going to do so much freaking damage. Let's see if it connects here, or they use their last shield. Let's see. Boom! It freaking took so much damage off of the Superior. It's insane. We get to a Flame Charge onto our Talonflame. Are they going to use their last shield now, or are they just going to let it go? And yeah, they don't. They use their last shield, and it was already signed, sealed, and delivered from the beginning, but I guess they wanted to play out the match. Let's go. Let's go. I'm a little bit more obviously excited with this team than I feel like I was previous with the previous team, because of course, like, I love showcasing other teams that actually do well, but at the same time, like, if it's not a team I built personally, I just, you know, I mean, like, I love using those teams, especially if they work well, but obviously I feel more of a personal connection with the teams I build personally, but I just wanted to showcase that team just because of how, like, phenomenal it just worked. Like, the synchronization of each Pokemon is just amazing. With Pangoro, oh my god. But anyway, we got the Talonflame versus the Credilli. I am going to be able to get to the Fly before they get to their Rock Tomb. Of course, I'm going to use a shield here. Now, I do make a mistake here. I do make a mistake because I'm thinking in my head, okay, I can get to another Fly before they get to another Rock Tomb, but unfortunately, I just, for some reason, I forget how slow Incinerate is in comparison to every other charge move. It looks like Seed Bomb, you are able to get to that charge move a lot faster. So pretty much what I do here, I end up using Flame Charge. Basically just going to boost up my Incinerate damage. Hopefully going to be able to Incinerate the Credilli all the way down, which I probably could have here, but I didn't want to risk it. I really just did not want to risk it. Like, one more Incinerate, I definitely could have done it, but I wasn't sure on how fast the Incinerate would have actually gotten to the Credilli. And then we have the Fairy Wigglytuff. Wish we would have seen this in the start here, but glad to see it now so we can get it out of here, because the Annihilape is still in the back and would be super effective against this. Basically would have been insta KO if we were going up against this Wigglytuff, which would have been unfortunate. But we are going to be able to line it up with the Credilli, get these Rock Tombs off on the Wigglytuff, which is nice. Lowering the attack. Let's see if I can get to it. I cannot get to another charge move, which is fine because we still have our Talonflame. We are going to be I'm pretty sure it's going to be at a charge move here. It's going to be an Icy Wind, which is fine. We are going to be able to take the Icy Wind, no problem. As a part fire type, and it's debuffed anyway, so it is what it is. Probably should have used Flame Charge here. In hindsight, I did not use Flame Charge. It's just to boost up my Incinerate, or my Incinerate damage, but it's fine. I thought Fly also would do a little bit more damage, but unfortunately that did not happen. They end up getting to the Bone Club here. I was hoping to catch a Rock Slide, but unfortunately, they're going to be throwing a Bone Club. Bone Club doing a good amount of damage. Oh, and unfortunately, they had 2 Bone Clubs built up, which I should have really, you know... I knew that was going to happen regardless, but they also like freaking have the Wigglytuff still in play, so regardless, that's one liability I definitely did not want to have to deal with anyway, but unfortunate that we don't have our it's still unfortunate that we don't have our Annihilape to show off anyway. They bring back in a Marowak, and we end up getting caught by, I believe this is a Rock Slide, but it's the Bone Club, and we survive by 1 HP, literally 1 HP, and we are going to be able to get to a fly, taking out the Wigglytuff in the back, and we end up winning that freaking game, bro. When I tell you, I was like, bro, like, dude made a really good play. He switched out the Credilli, thinking he was going to catch a move. He switched back out. He was able to get off a move to get to a charge move, and I was thinking, oh no, he's going to get to the Rock Slide and take me out instantly. He used a Bone Club, bro, and I thought I was KO'd, but unfortunately for him, we had 1 slither of HP from a non-bulky Talonflame. Mind you, this is a 96% Talonflame, which is insane. It's insane. But anyway, we got Talonflame versus the Weezing, non-Shadow Weezing. So still good to actually see the Weezing here, even though the Weezing does have some neutral play against us with the Brutal Swing as well as Sludge. So we are going to take this move, Sludge, doing a decent amount of damage, basically taking us a little lower than half. Which is very unfortunate, but we are going to use a Flame Charge here just to boost up our Incinerate damage and get a shield, which is very nice. Let's see. Okay, alright, so they are going to be able to get to another charge move. The thing is, Weezing gets to his charge move super fast, so thing is, I do have to work really smart here to actually, you know, play against this Weezing here. We are going to be able to get to a fly. Are they going to use their last charge move? Are they going to use their last shield? That is the question here. And they do. They do. What am I saying? They don't. And they bring in the Sableye. Can I get to another charge move? I just get to the charge move and it ends up Shadow Clawing us the rest of the way down. Unfortunate there. But we are going to switch into our Credilli. Of course, we do not want to switch into our Annihilape here. Annihilape would not love those Shadow Claws whatsoever. So, yeah, we're going to have to switch into the Credilli. Take the Dazzling Gleam. Ooh, Shadow Dazzling Gleam. Taking out almost like majority of our health there, which is insane. Well, not majority. Like a little bit more than half, which is very unfortunate. But we are going to be able to get to the Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb getting their last shield. Now let's see if I'm going to be able to do anything here. So we're going to use our last shield here. Might as well use our last shield here. And they bring in a Golisopod. The Golisopod is not going to like this Rock Tomb whatsoever. Rock Tomb going to be super effective against this Golisopod. And it's going to debuff it, which is going to be very nice. We're going to farm this Golisopod down. I'm going to have to take this Aqua Tail, which is fine. I should be able to tank that, no problem. Oh, Aqua Tail, Aqua Jet, my bad, Aqua Jet. And we're pretty much right at the Rage Fist, and yeah, the opponent just decides to quit there, knowing that I was just going to throw that Rage Fist, and it was just going to be over from there. But yes, some really good plays so far. But yeah, really loving this team. I'm really like, I'm focused on like 2 teams. Like I really like don't want to keep on switching teams because I feel like that's the problem. Like I keep switching teams and like I keep like essentially just not like I keep messing up. Like I just keep messing up, and like the thing is, once you learn a team, you just got to keep like going with that same team to actually build up the ranks. Every time I switch teams, I go down in elo. Like it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We have the Talonflame versus the Guzzlord here. I was thinking I was going to at least build up to a fly, at least do some neutral damage here. We did take a Dragon Claw, which is very unfortunate because that plus the Dragon Tail is, I'm not doing that well right now, which is unfortunate. We end up switching into the Credilli. Arguably, I could have just switched into the Annihilape. I didn't want to switch into my hard counter just yet, because basically they should have something in the back that could definitely take out my Annihilape. So that's why I didn't want to do it. They end up switching into the Corviknight as I get to the Rock Tomb here, which is still super effective, which is very nice, but Corviknight is a very tanky Pokemon. So essentially we're going to throw another Rock Tomb, basically double debuffing the Corviknight, which is nice. And that should be able to get us to a third, because, okay, so I do end up using a shield here. I was thinking I wasn't going to use a shield because they are double debuffed. Iron Head still super effective, and as well as Sky Attack is still super effective. So I wasn't too sure off of the double debuff it was actually going to do anything or not. But we are matched in shields right now, so essentially I have one shield, they have one shield, so we should be fine. Taking out the Corviknight, which is nice. Then they have a Swalot in the back. I definitely want to actually use this Pokemon at some point. Maybe when I hit the next... maybe when I hit Veteran, maybe that's when I'll try it. Because I just do not want to tank my progression right now. Trying out Swalot. Just a funny Pokemon, man. Look at that mustache, bro. We get the Rock Tomb off. Basically getting a attack drop onto the Swalot, doing a decent amount of damage, which is nice. We're just going to use the Talonflame here. Yeah, we're just going to use the Talonflame here. We're going to use our last shield just so we can build up some energy. Sludge definitely would have KO'd us. And they get to the Guzzlord, and we bring out our freaking Annihilape. This is where Annihilape's going to shine. Going to be able to counter down the rest of this Guzzlord. Am I going to be able to tank the Dragon Claw? I am, but they do have Dragon Tail and as well as Dragon Claw friggin' doing an amazing amount of damage to me. But anyway, we are going to be able to get to some Charge Energy, which is going to be nice. Going to be throwing the Rage Fist, getting their shield, but I am getting some more energy, and I get to another Rage Fist, which is nice. It is unfortunate because, you know, of course counter is negated with poison, so essentially Swalot essentially is going to be able to take the hits, but is not going to be able to take a Rage Fist, which is a ghost move. Let's go. Let's go. And it's very slow to get to the moves too, so it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, such a fun team, man. Such a fun team. I do want to build a team with Morpeko though. There's a team I was thinking about with Morpeko. I forgot. Oh my god, what was it? I think it was Galissapod or something like that with Morpeko. I don't know. I don't know. I'm flying off the handle here. But anyway, we got Talonflame versus the Grumpig. I think I can get to the charge move before Grumpig gets to his charge move. And I always I don't know why. I always think I can get to the charge move before the opponent when I'm using a freaking Incinerate user, but I keep forgetting how freaking slow it takes for an Incinerate to go off. Oh my goodness. But anyway, we end up using a shield there because we want to shield the Shadow Ball. Definitely do not want to take the Shadow Ball whatsoever. The Incinerates are going to be doing a lot more damage than their Psy Waves, and as well, since it is Incinerate, essentially it takes way less for us to get to the charge move the second time, so we are going to be able to get to another Flame Charge. They use their last shield, we're going to use our last shield, essentially where we both don't have any more shields left. They use Dynamic Punch. I probably could have just let that go, but I didn't want to take the risk whatsoever. I do it again where I underestimate how fast the opponent's Pokemon is going to get to the charge move. He gets to the Aqua Tail, unfortunately, before I'm able to get to the charge move, and he ends up taking out the Talonflame. Something I literally could have saved that Talonflame for something in the back, but unfortunately they end up taking us out. Now we have the Credilli versus the Drapion here. Drapion gonna probably hit us with a crunch. Yes, it is. And we are gonna be able to get to the Rock Tomb at least. I still don't know what they have exactly in the back here, which is yeah, not sure. And they still have that Grumpig, which is gonna be a problem, especially going against the Annihilape here. So I do have to play this very safe. We don't have any more shields left, so So pretty much what I do, I end up switching into the Annihilate, building up some energy just in case they bring back in that Grumpig. If they bring back in the Grumpig, I'll have a Rage Fist ready for it. Aqua Tail coming through, not doing that much damage. It's debuff, so that's why, actually. And then they bring in the Whimsicott. Pretty much with the Whimsicott, we're just going to use an Ice Punch here. It's not going to like this Ice Punch, but I know it's not going to insta-KO it. Does majority of the damage, which is very nice, though. Okay, so we both have no shields, and I'm definitely going to get KO'd here. It has a fairy move. I know it's going to take KO. Oh, actually, Grass Knot. It doesn't even need a fairy move to actually take us out. I forgot. They bring in the Grumpig. I wasn't sure how far it was for its charge move, so we instantly throw the Rock Tomb. Potentially, if I were to just, like, build up maybe just a little more, I possibly could have won this one. Oh, because literally I was a fraction away from the Rock Tomb taking out the Whimsicott, but unfortunately they get charge priority, taking us out with the Grass Knot, and they end up winning that game. GG's to my opponent there on that last match. But we got a 4 out of 5 matches won, which is amazing. Yeah, that team was pretty solid for sure. As I said, moving up the ranks of the ELO very slowly, very slowly. As I said, every time I change the team, because I'm just trying to like do new teams for the YouTube channel and everything like that, it always ends up messing me up. So only time I'm going to premiere a team is if I've been using the team for a while. I feel comfortable using the team and it's just a fun team to use. I definitely want to like spice some things up. I do want to do an all ghost team at some point, maybe towards the end of Great League next week, possibly. You know, I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave me a like and subscribe to the channel as it helps the channel grow, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.